Welcome to Read and Learn English. In this channel, you don't only learn English, you also learn how to grow as a person, step by step. Today's topic is something that many people in the world feel deep inside. Have you ever tried so hard but still failed? Have you ever worked day and night but nothing changed? Maybe you studied, worked, and hoped, but the result stayed the same. You tried again and again, but success never came. You are not alone. Many people try their best, yet they still feel stuck, tired, and lost. This video is for those who are always trying but never winning. It is for people who feel like life is a race, and they are always one step behind. Sometimes you wonder, why does this happen? Why do I give my best, but others seem to move faster? The truth is not always about effort. Many times it's about direction, mindset, and understanding what truly matters. In this video, we will explore why some people keep trying but never win, and how you can change that story in your own life. Let's start with a simple picture. Imagine a man pushing a heavy door. He pushes harder and harder, sweating and using all his energy. But the door never opens. He grows tired and frustrated. Then, someone walks by and says, "You're pushing the wrong side." The man stops, walks to the other side, and gives a gentle pull. The door opens easily. He smiles, not because it was easy, but because now he understands. Life works the same way. Sometimes we push so hard in the wrong direction. We study without a plan. We work without a goal. We move without a clear path. We think effort alone will bring success. But effort without understanding only brings exhaustion. That is why many people feel they are always trying but never winning. Maybe you also feel this in your English learning. You read books, watch videos, and repeat words again and again. But when you try to speak, your mind goes blank. You wonder, why can't I improve even though I try so hard? The reason is not your intelligence. It's the method. Success comes not only from trying more, but from trying right. This video will help you see the difference between busy effort and smart effort. Between doing more and doing better. Between feeling stuck and moving forward. Step by step, we will uncover the hidden mistakes that make people busy, but not successful. These mistakes are small, but powerful. They hide in daily habits, thoughts, and choices. Once you see them clearly, your life starts to change. In the next sections, we will talk about what happens when you try without direction, how to find focus, how to change your mindset, and how to move from trying to winning. You will learn how real progress works: slow, quiet, and steady. You will understand why winners are not the people who work the most, but the ones who learn, think, and act wisely. As you listen to this story, don't just learn English. Feel the message. Connect it to your own life. Ask yourself, am I working hard but not moving forward? Am I repeating the same mistakes every day? Am I trying to open a door from the wrong side? This video is your chance to stop feeling stuck. It's time to understand what truly makes a person move from trying to winning. Remember, small changes in how you think can create big changes in what you achieve. Stay with me until the end, because each part of this video will take you closer to clarity, confidence, and success. You will see that winning is not about luck or magic. It's about learning how to try the right way. Now, let's begin this journey together. In the next part, we will talk about the real pain of trying without results. and why so many people live in that endless loop without even knowing it. The pain of trying without results. Have you ever felt like you are running but not moving forward? Like no matter how much you do, your life stays in the same place? You wake up early, you work hard, you study, you try again and again, but nothing really changes. It feels like you are stuck on a spinning wheel, moving fast but going nowhere. This is one of the most painful feelings in life, to give your best and still not see any result. Imagine a man who works long hours every day. He arrives at work early, stays late, and never complains. But year after year, his life looks the same. No promotion, no new opportunities. He feels tired and invisible. He begins to ask himself, why am I doing all this? Why am I trying so hard if nothing changes? He keeps trying, but inside, he feels lost. He is like a runner in a race who keeps moving, but the finish line never comes closer. Now think about someone learning English. She studies for years, fills notebooks with grammar rules, and watches English videos every night. But when she tries to speak, her mind freezes. The words disappear. She feels embarrassed and disappointed. She asks herself, why can't I improve? I try so much, but I still fail. She's not lazy. She's just lost in the wrong method. Her energy is strong, but her direction is missing. This is the truth many people don't see. Hard work without direction brings pain, not progress. When you try without a clear plan, you start to lose hope. Every failure hurts more than the last. You begin to think something is wrong with you. But the problem is not you. The problem is the way you are trying. There is a big difference between trying hard and moving smartly. Let's look at two types of people. The first person works without thinking. They do more and more every day, but never stop to check if it's working. They believe that more hours mean more success. The second person works with focus. They stop, think, and ask, is this the best way? Am I using my time wisely? The first person runs in circles. The second person moves forward step by step. When you try without direction, every day feels heavy. You feel tired but not proud. You feel busy but not successful. Your mind says, I'm doing everything right, but your heart whispers, something is missing. You start to compare yourself with others and wonder why they are moving ahead while you are still in the same place. That feeling creates sadness, jealousy, and even self-doubt. But when you try with focus, everything starts to change. You begin to notice small wins. You see progress, even if it's slow. You feel more alive because you finally understand what you are doing and why you are doing it. You are no longer running in circles. You are walking on a clear path. Let's take an example. Two people want to get fit. The first person exercises every day but eats junk food and sleeps late. The second person exercises less but eats well and rests properly. After 1 month, the first person feels tired and sees no result, while the second person feels stronger and healthier. The first one tried harder, but the second one tried smarter. This is the same in everything. Learning, working, or building a better life. Trying without direction is like driving a car without a map. You can press the gas pedal all day, but if you are going the wrong way, you'll never arrive. Smart effort means knowing your destination, checking your direction, and adjusting your path when needed. The pain of trying without results is not just about failure. It's about confusion. You start to lose trust in yourself. You ask, what's the point of trying? But the truth is, you are not broken. You just need clarity. You need to learn how to turn your effort into real progress. You can begin today. Take one area of your life, maybe your English learning, your job, or your personal goals, and ask yourself, am I moving forward or just repeating the same actions? If your answer is I'm repeating, then stop for a moment. Don't work harder today. Think smarter instead. Look for what's missing. Sometimes one small change, a better method, a clear goal, or a new habit can make all the difference. Remember, success is not only for the most talented or lucky people. It is for those who learn to use their energy in the right way. Hard work is important, but smart direction gives that work meaning. You deserve to see results for your effort. You deserve to move forward, not just move in circles. In the next part, we will talk about the hidden trap many people fall into. The trap of doing more instead of doing right. Because sometimes the problem is not that we don't try enough, but that we try too much in the wrong way. The hidden trap, doing more instead of doing right. Most people believe that success comes from doing more. They think, if I study longer, work harder, and stay busier, I will win. But the truth is very different. Doing more is not the same as doing better. Many people fall into this hidden trap. They fill their days with activity, but they never stop to ask, am I doing the right thing? Imagine someone learning English. Every day, he studies grammar for hours. He writes long lists of vocabulary words, memorizes rules, and fills his notebook with examples. He works hard, no doubt. But when he meets someone and tries to speak, his mouth freezes. The words don't come out. His heart beats fast, and he feels nervous. He thinks, why can't I speak after all this practice? He believes he just needs to study more. So he goes back home and studies another 3 hours. But nothing changes. His problem is not effort. His problem is focus. He is doing more, but not right. He studies grammar when he should be practicing speaking. He memorizes words but never uses them in real life. He's busy, but not effective. He's stuck in the trap of doing more instead of doing smart. Now imagine another person who studies for only 1 hour each day. But in that 1 hour, she listens, speaks, and practices real conversations. She makes mistakes but learns from them. She doesn't try to do everything. She focuses on the right things. After a few months, her English becomes natural and confident. She wins not because she worked more, but because she worked better. This is the difference between busy effort and smart effort. Busy effort makes you tired, but not stronger. Smart effort makes you better even if you do less. Busy effort means doing a lot without thinking. Smart effort means choosing what truly matters. Let's take another example. A young man wants to be successful in his job. He takes on every task, says yes to everything, and stays late every night. He believes that being busy shows he is dedicated. But slowly, he starts to lose focus. He feels stressed, forgets important details, and his performance drops. His manager sees he is always busy but not improving. Then one day, he decides to change. He starts to say no to unnecessary tasks. He focuses on what really helps the company grow. He plans his day, sets priorities, and gives his best energy to important work. After a few weeks, his results improve. His manager notices the change and gives him new opportunities. The man finally understands. Success is not about how much you do, but how well you do it. This lesson applies to every area of life. Doing more can make you feel good for a short time, but doing right brings real change. The world often tells us to work harder, but few people say work smarter. The truth is, more work without direction leads to burnout, not success. Think of a person who wants to be healthy. She runs on the treadmill for 2 hours every day but eats unhealthy food afterward. She wonders why her weight doesn't change. She believes that if she just runs longer, it will fix everything. But the real solution is balance, exercise, and healthy eating. She doesn't need more hours. She needs better choices. Doing more without direction is like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. No matter how much you pour, it never fills up. But when you fix the holes, when you find the right method, even a little effort brings results. The truth is, life rewards clarity, not chaos. When your actions are focused, your energy becomes powerful. When your actions are scattered, your energy is wasted. You might feel productive because you're always busy, but deep inside, you're moving nowhere. That's why so many people work all day but still feel empty at night. Let's remember a simple story. There was once a young man who worked in a wood shop. Every day, he cut trees from morning to evening. He worked harder than anyone, but his pile of wood never grew faster. One day, an older man watched him and said, "Why don't you sharpen your axe?" The young man replied, "I don't have time to sharpen. I'm too busy cutting." The old man smiled and said, "If you don't take time to sharpen, you will keep cutting forever but never finish." The young man finally stopped and sharpened his axe. The next day, he finished his work in half the time. He learned that success is not about working longer. It's about working smarter. This story is true for all of us. Sometimes we must stop and think. Are we cutting trees with a dull axe? Are we filling our days with tasks that look like progress but bring no real results? The answer is often yes. The courage to stop, reflect, and change direction is what separates winners from dreamers. In the end, doing more does not mean you are growing. Growth comes when your effort has purpose. It comes when you understand what matters most and focus on that. When you learn to work with clarity, even small actions create big change. In the next part, we will go deeper into this idea. You will learn how awareness, the simple act of seeing where you are going, can turn all your hard work into meaningful progress. Because before we can move forward, we must first open our eyes and see the path clearly. The power of awareness. See where you are going. Imagine a traveler walking down a long road. The sun is hot, his bag is heavy, and he has been walking since morning. But there's one problem. He doesn't know where he's going. He just keeps walking because everyone else is walking too. After hours, he stops and looks around. He feels lost. He wonders, why am I so tired but still not closer to my goal? This is how many of us live our lives. Moving without direction, working without awareness, trying hard but not knowing where we are going. Awareness is the first step to success. It is like a map for the traveler. Without it, no matter how fast you move, you will never reach the right place. But with it, even slow steps take you forward. Many people think success begins with hard work, but it actually begins with understanding. Before you can go far, You must know where you are and where you want to go. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, go to work, come home, watch something, sleep, and repeat. Day after day, the same routine continues. Time passes, but life doesn't change. They tell themselves, "I'm busy," but they don't stop to ask, "Am I moving in the right direction?" They keep walking, just like that traveler with no map, hoping someday they will arrive somewhere good. But life doesn't work that way. Without awareness, we don't live. We just exist. Awareness means stopping for a moment and looking at yourself honestly. It means asking simple but powerful questions. Where am I now? What am I doing? Is this helping me grow or keeping me stuck? It's not easy to ask these questions because sometimes the truth hurts. But that truth is the light that guides you out of confusion. Let's take an example. A young woman studies English every night. She repeats words, listens to podcasts, and writes notes. But she still feels shy when speaking. One day she stops and asks herself, "Why am I not improving?" She realizes she only studies alone and never practices with people. That small moment of awareness changes everything. She joins a language group, starts talking with others, and slowly becomes confident. Her progress begins not with more effort, but with seeing clearly. Awareness helps us notice what we were blind to before. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see where everything is. Without that light, you keep bumping into the same walls again and again, thinking life is unfair. But when awareness comes, you understand what needs to change. Let's contrast two kinds of people. The first lives on autopilot. They follow habits, do what others do, and never question anything. Their days are full, but their hearts are empty. The second person lives with awareness. They take time each day to reflect. They notice their feelings, their actions, and their results. They adjust their path when needed. The first person keeps repeating mistakes. The second person learns and grows. Awareness makes the difference between being stuck and moving forward. So, how can we practice awareness in daily life? It starts with something simple: reflection. At the end of each day, take 5 quiet minutes for yourself. Sit somewhere peaceful, maybe your bed, your desk, or even during your walk home. Ask yourself 3 gentle questions. 1. What did I do today? 2. What did I learn today? 3. What can I do better tomorrow? Write down your answers if you can. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel bad. Just observe. This small habit trains your mind to think clearly. It helps you see patterns, what works and what doesn't. Over time, you start making better choices without even trying. Awareness also means understanding your emotions. Sometimes we feel tired, angry, or sad, but we keep working without asking why. Those feelings are messages. They tell you something is wrong. Maybe your goals are unclear, or your energy is going to the wrong place. When you stop and listen to your feelings, you can guide yourself back on the right path. Think of awareness as a mirror. The mirror doesn't lie. It shows you exactly what is there. Not to make you feel bad, but to help you see. Without a mirror, you can't fix what's wrong. Without awareness, you can't fix your life. Many people try to change their outside world. They switch jobs, move cities, buy new things. But they forget to look inside. Real change begins inside, with awareness. When you know yourself deeply, your choices become clear. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You start focusing on what truly brings joy and progress. So today, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself where you are going. Is your daily effort leading you closer to your dreams or just keeping you busy? If you don't know, it's time to stop walking blindly. Open your eyes. See the road. You deserve to walk in the right direction. In the next part, we will explore how your mindset, the way you think and believe, can completely change your results. Because awareness shows you the road, but your mindset decides how you travel it. Mindset shift. Stop thinking like a loser. Everything begins in your mind. Before you win or lose in life, you win or lose in your thoughts. Many people fail not because they don't have talent or opportunities, but because they believe they can't succeed. When you say to yourself, "I can't do this," your mind immediately starts looking for reasons to prove it. But when you say, "I can learn this," your mind begins to find ways to make it true. That's the real difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck. Think about this simple truth. Failure often starts in the mind long before it happens in reality. When someone thinks, "I'm not smart enough," "I'll never be fluent in English," or "success isn't for me," they create a wall inside their own head. That wall stops them from trying, exploring, and improving. On the other hand, people who say, "I don't know yet, but I can learn," open doors to new possibilities. The key word is yet. Adding yet to your thoughts turns weakness into progress. Psychologists call this the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, "I'm either good or bad at something." It believes abilities are permanent, like a label. A growth mindset says, "I can get better with time and effort." It believes skills can be developed. Let's look at an example. Two friends, Anna and Leo, start learning English together. After a few weeks, Anna says, "This is too hard. I'm not good at languages." She stops practicing. Leo, on the other hand, says, "It's hard now, but I'm improving little by little." He keeps going. Months later, Leo is speaking with confidence while Anna still believes she can't. The difference wasn't talent. It was mindset. Your thoughts are powerful. They shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. If your thoughts are weak, your life will reflect that weakness. But if your thoughts are strong, your life will start to grow in strength too. Every successful person once struggled. The only reason they succeeded is because they refused to give up mentally. They chose to keep believing even when progress was slow. Negative self-talk is like poison. It slowly kills your motivation. Words like "I can't," "I'm not ready," or "it's impossible" are dangerous because your brain listens to them. Once you repeat them enough times, you start believing they're true. But here's the secret. You can train your mind to speak differently. You can replace those words with truth and hope. For example, instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," say, "I'm learning English every day." Instead of saying, "I always fail," say, "I'm still learning how to succeed." Instead of "I can't do this," say, "I'll find a way." These are not just positive words. They are reminders that you are still in control. Think about a small child learning to walk. The child falls hundreds of times, but never says, "I guess walking isn't for me." The child just keeps trying because they don't have the thought of failure yet. Adults forget that lesson. They fall once or twice and start calling themselves losers. But falling is part of the process. The only real loser is the one who stops trying. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from small wins. Each time you try and improve, even a little, you prove to yourself that you can. Maybe today you learn 10 new English words. Maybe you speak one full sentence without fear. Maybe you fix one mistake you made yesterday. Those small wins build a strong mindset. You start saying, if I can do this, I can do more. And slowly, belief replaces doubt. Let's imagine a person named Sam. For years, Sam wanted to speak English fluently, but every time he tried, he thought, people will laugh at me. One day, he decided to change his inner voice. He began telling himself, I'm not perfect, but I'm improving. He practiced speaking to his mirror, joined an online chat, and made small mistakes every day. At first, his progress was slow, but his confidence grew fast. 6 months later, he could hold full conversations. What changed wasn't just his skill. It was his mindset. Mindset is like the lens through which you see the world. If the lens is dirty with doubt, everything looks difficult. But if the lens is clear with belief, everything becomes possible. You start to see opportunities instead of problems. You start to focus on effort instead of excuses. Here's a little exercise you can try every morning. When you wake up, say one positive sentence about yourself. For example, I am improving every day, or I have everything I need to grow. Repeat it with feeling. It may sound simple, but this habit slowly reprograms your mind. You begin your day with power, not fear. Changing your mindset doesn't mean ignoring your struggles. It means facing them with strength. You can be honest about where you are while still believing in where you're going. That's real confidence. Quiet, patient, and consistent. Remember this: you don't need to be the best. You just need to keep getting better. Stop thinking like a loser who gives up easily. Start thinking like a learner who grows stronger each day. When your mind changes, everything else follows. Your actions, your energy, and your results. In the next section, we'll explore how discipline and daily habits turn that mindset into lasting success. Because belief gives you direction, but discipline turns belief into reality. Discipline versus motivation. What winners do differently. Motivation is powerful, but it doesn't last forever. It's like a spark, bright and exciting at first, but it fades quickly if you don't feed it. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a fire that never goes out. It keeps burning, even when the spark is gone. That's what separates winners from everyone else. Winners don't wait to feel ready. They act even when they don't feel like it. Many people say, I'll study English when I feel motivated, or I'll start exercising when I have more energy. But days pass, motivation disappears, and nothing changes. They wait for the perfect mood, but that mood never comes. Winners think differently. They don't depend on feelings. They depend on habits. They understand that progress comes from showing up every single day, not just when it's easy. Think about this simple example. Two students both want to improve their English. The first one studies only when they feel inspired. They watch videos, take notes, and dream big, but only once in a while. The second student makes a plan. Every morning they study for just 30 minutes, even when they're tired or busy. Weeks go by. The first student keeps restarting. The second keeps growing. After a few months, the difference is huge. One stayed comfortable. The other built consistency. That's the secret. Small, steady steps beat emotional bursts every time. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is decision. Motivation says, I want to. Discipline says, I will. When you have discipline, you don't need to fight your feelings. You just do what needs to be done because it's part of who you are. Winners train themselves to keep going even when it's hard, because they know that consistency creates results. Let's imagine a story. A young man wanted to learn English to get a better job. He watched motivational videos every day. He got excited, promised to study for hours, but after a few days, he lost interest. Then one day, he realized something important. Waiting for motivation was like waiting for the weather to be perfect before going outside. It might never happen. So, he changed his plan. He decided to study for 20 minutes every morning. No excuses. Some days, he was sleepy. Some days, he was busy. But he showed up anyway. Months later, his English had improved more than ever before. Why? Because discipline replaced emotion. The truth is, discipline is not about being strict or cold. It's about caring for your goals enough to keep them alive every day. It's a quiet promise you make to yourself. When you keep that promise, your confidence grows. You start trusting yourself. And that trust is stronger than any burst of motivation. Think about it like brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation to do it. You just do it because it's part of your routine. Learning, working, or exercising should be the same. When you repeat something often enough, it becomes automatic. You stop arguing with yourself. You stop saying, I don't feel like it. You simply act. Many people think success is about doing something big once. But real success is doing something small many times. Winners know that every little step adds up. Reading one page a day may not feel like much, but after a year, you've read hundreds. Speaking one sentence in English each day may feel simple, but after months, you'll be speaking naturally. Discipline turns time into progress. There's also a hidden beauty in discipline. At first, it feels heavy. It takes effort to wake up early or stay focused. But soon, it becomes a source of pride. You start to enjoy the process. You feel strong because you're in control. Motivation makes you excited for a moment. Discipline makes you proud for a lifetime. Let's compare two people again. The first one says, I'll wait until I feel motivated. They depend on energy, mood, and inspiration. The second one says, I'll do it, even if I'm tired. They depend on structure, purpose, and habit. The first one's progress goes up and down. The second one's progress moves forward, slowly but surely. Who wins in the end? Always the one who stays consistent. Discipline also teaches patience. When you show up every day, you stop expecting quick results. You begin to understand that real growth takes time. You stop judging yourself too soon. You focus on progress, not perfection. That's why disciplined people don't give up. They trust the process. If you want to become fluent in English, don't wait for motivation. Make a routine. Maybe 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night. Even if you're tired, do something small. Listen to one podcast, read one short article, repeat one conversation. Those moments matter more than long hours done once in a while. Remember, motivation is like the wind. It changes direction all the time. Discipline is like the compass. It always points you where you need to go. When you rely only on motivation, you move when it's easy. When you rely on discipline, you move no matter what. And that's what winners do differently. As we move to the next section, we'll explore how habits, the small daily choices you make, can turn your discipline into automatic success. Because discipline starts the engine, but habits keep the car running every day. The art of focusing on one thing. Stop trying to win at everything. In today's world, everyone wants to do everything. We want to learn English, build a business, get fit, travel, read books, and still have time to relax. But when we try to chase too many things at once, we often end up catching nothing. We spread our time and energy so thin that nothing grows. The truth is, success comes not from doing everything, but from focusing deeply on one thing at a time. Think about a light. When the light is spread wide, it is soft and weak. But when you focus that same light into a laser, it becomes powerful enough to cut through metal. Your mind works the same way. Scattered energy feels busy but doesn't create results. Focused energy creates change. Many people confuse busyness with progress. They start one project, get excited, and before it's finished, they jump to another one. They start studying English one week, then switch to learning coding the next, then move to something else again. At the end of the year, they've tried many things but mastered none. Then they feel tired and lost, wondering why their life doesn't move forward. Now imagine someone else. This person chooses one goal: to improve their English speaking. Every day they practice one small thing. They don't jump to another goal. They don't get distracted by too many plans. After months, their speaking becomes natural and confident. People notice the difference. Why? Because focus builds progress. That's the difference between a dreamer and a finisher. The dreamer starts many things but completes none. The finisher chooses one thing and gives it full attention. Let's use a simple story. A man once wanted to dig for water. He started digging one hole but stopped when he didn't find water quickly. Then he moved to another spot and dug again. He kept changing spots, digging many shallow holes but found no water. Another man chose one spot and kept digging deeper and deeper until he finally reached water. The lesson is clear. If you keep changing direction, you stay on the surface. But when you stay focused, you go deep enough to find results. Focus is not easy in a noisy world. Every day, something tries to pull your attention. Social media, messages, new ideas, and endless distractions. But if you can train your mind to stay with one task, you become powerful. You become calm and confident because you know what truly matters. Here's a simple technique to build focus. Every morning, write down your one top goal for the day. Just one. Ask yourself, if I could only finish one thing today, what should it be? Then give that task your best energy first. Don't check your phone. Don't jump between things. Work on that one goal until it's done. When you complete it, you'll feel real progress. One goal a day may not sound like much, but in 1 month, that's 30 clear wins. You can use this technique for anything. Learning English, improving your health, or working on your dreams. For example, if your goal is to speak English better, make your one thing today to listen and repeat a short conversation. Tomorrow, your one thing could be writing 5 sentences. Each small focus adds up to real skill. Let's contrast two learners again. The first learner studies grammar today, watches a motivational video tomorrow, reads half a book next week, and never finishes anything. The second learner decides to focus only on speaking for 1 month. Every day, they practice one conversation. After 30 days, their speaking is smoother and their confidence grows. One learner spreads effort everywhere. The other directs effort like a laser. Who wins? The one who focuses. When you stop trying to win at everything, you start winning at something. You save energy, you think clearly, and your work becomes meaningful. Focus is not about doing less. It's about doing what matters most. It's about giving your best to one thing until it blooms. There's also emotional peace in focus. When you chase too many goals, your mind feels noisy and restless. You feel like you're always behind. But when you pick one direction, you feel lighter. You stop worrying about everything else. You find joy in simple, steady progress. Sometimes people think focus means losing opportunities. But in truth, focus creates opportunities. When you master one skill, it opens doors to others. When you become great at one thing, people trust you more, respect you more, and new chances appear naturally. The world rewards depth, not distraction. Focus gives you control over your time and mind. It helps you grow faster than you think. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay consistent with one goal long enough to see results. So, remember this. If you try to do 10 things halfway, you'll fail at all 10. But if you do one thing fully, you'll win. Every great success story starts with one clear focus. Once you learn to focus, you start winning small battles, and each small battle makes you stronger for the next one. In the next section, we'll explore how building these small wins step by step can lead to unstoppable momentum in your journey toward success. The power of patience. Slow success is still success. In our world today, everyone wants things fast. We want fast internet, fast food, fast success. But real growth doesn't happen that way. Real success takes time. Just like a tree takes time to grow from a small seed into something strong and beautiful. Patience is not about waiting and doing nothing. It's about waiting while you keep doing the right things. Many people start their journey full of energy. They study every day for a week, go to the gym for a few days, or try a new habit for a month. But when they don't see results quickly, they give up. They say, "It's not working," and stop. The truth is, success was coming. They just quit too soon. Let's think about a farmer. The farmer wakes up early, works under the sun, and plants seeds in the ground. After that, there's nothing to see for many days. The soil looks empty. There's no green leaf, no fruit, no sign of life. But does the farmer stop watering? No. The farmer knows something important. Growth is happening underground. The roots are forming quietly before the world can see the results. If the farmer stops watering because the field looks empty, the plant will die before it ever grows. You and I are like that farmer. When we work hard on our dreams, learning English, building confidence, or changing our life, the results don't always show right away. But just because you can't see growth doesn't mean it's not happening. Sometimes your roots are growing stronger, preparing you for something bigger. Let's use a simple example. Two friends start learning English at the same time. One wants to see quick results. After 1 month, when they still can't speak fluently, They feel disappointed and quit. The other keeps going quietly, reading, listening, and practicing every day. They don't rush. After 6 months, the second friend starts to speak naturally and confidently. The difference isn't talent, it's patience. Patience is not weakness, it's strength. It takes courage to keep going when results are slow. It takes faith to believe in something you cannot yet see. That's why patient people often win in the end. They don't waste time starting and quitting over and over. They stay on one path and keep walking. Even if they move slowly, they keep moving. There's a beautiful saying: slow progress is still progress. Every small step you take matters. Every page you read, every word you learn, every small action adds up. It may not look big today, but it's shaping your future. Think about nature. A flower doesn't bloom the moment you plant it. It needs sunlight, water, and time. You can't pull the petals open to make it bloom faster. You'll only damage it. The same is true for your dreams. You must give them time to grow naturally. Many people lose hope because they compare their journey to others. They see someone succeeding faster and think, "I'm too slow." But every person's timing is different. Some people bloom early, others later. What matters is that you don't stop growing. The moment you stop comparing and start trusting your pace, peace begins. When you are patient, you become more focused and calm. You stop rushing and start learning. You begin to enjoy the process instead of worrying about the result. You learn to appreciate the small wins. A new word you learned, a task you finished, a day you didn't give up. These moments are signs that you're moving forward, even if it's slow. Let's go back to the story of the farmer. After many days of watering and waiting, one morning he sees a small green leaf break through the soil. It's tiny, but it's a sign of life. That moment feels magical. All his patience suddenly makes sense. That's exactly how success feels. One day, your efforts begin to show. The skills you practiced, the habits you built, the patience you kept, they start to bloom. Remember, every success story you admire took time. No great writer, athlete, or leader became successful overnight. They worked quietly for years before anyone noticed. They faced failure, but they didn't give up. They kept showing up, believing that their time would come. If you are in a season where progress feels slow, don't be sad. You are in your growing stage, just like that seed under the ground. Keep watering your dreams with effort, hope, and patience. Your time will come too. Patience teaches you to trust life. It reminds you that you can't control the speed of results, but you can control your actions today. Keep doing the right things. Study, practice, learn, grow. The results will follow when you are ready. So, the next time you feel stuck, remember this: slow success is still success. Don't quit just because you can't see progress yet. You're becoming stronger, wiser, and more prepared than before. Your roots are growing deep, and soon your tree will rise tall. Now that we understand patience, it's time to see how small daily progress, even when it's invisible, builds unstoppable momentum. In the next section, we'll explore how taking one simple action every day can change your entire path toward success. Learning from failure. The secret winners. No. Failure is not the end of the road. Many people believe it is. They fail at something and feel crushed, thinking, "I'm not good enough," or "I will never succeed." They see failure as a signal to stop. But winners think differently. Winners know that failure is not an ending. It is feedback. It is a message, a lesson, a chance to learn and grow. Let's imagine two students who fail the same English exam. The first student feels hopeless. They think, I will never pass. I'm not smart enough. They give up and stop studying. Months later, nothing has changed. The failure became a wall that stopped them from moving forward. The second student reacts differently. They fail, but they don't see it as the end. They ask themselves, why did I fail? What can I do better? They notice that they didn't practice speaking enough, didn't revise vocabulary properly, and didn't review grammar mistakes. They make a plan to fix these problems and study consistently. Months later, they take the exam again, and this time, they pass. The failure became a teacher, not a jailer. This is the difference between losers and winners. Losers see failure as proof that they are weak. Winners see failure as information, clues about what to change. When you adopt this mindset, every mistake becomes valuable. Every setback becomes an opportunity. Let's look at another example. A man loses his job unexpectedly. At first, he feels panic and fear. He wonders how he will pay bills, what others will think, and why this happened to him. He feels like a loser. But after a few days, he starts asking questions. What skills can I improve? What kind of work will make me happier? He applies for jobs, learns new skills online, and slowly builds a better career. Months later, he finds a position that pays more, challenges him, and makes him excited to work. The job loss was painful, but it pushed him to grow. Failure became his teacher. Failure also teaches patience. When you fail, it shows you where you need to improve. It gives you time to reflect, adjust, and prepare for the next step. Without failure, we might repeat the same mistakes over and over, wasting time and energy. Every mistake points us to the right path, if we are willing to see it. Here's a simple way to learn from failure. Each time something goes wrong, take a moment to write it down. Ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What happened? 2. Why did it happen? 3. What can I do differently next time? Writing your answers makes the lesson clear. It turns an emotional moment into a learning moment. Over time, these notes become a guidebook for your growth. You begin to see patterns in your mistakes, and you avoid repeating them. Many people fear failure because it hurts their pride. They don't want to look weak or make mistakes in front of others. But failure is universal. Every successful person has failed countless times. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Famous athletes lose games before winning championships. Great writers get rejected by publishers again and again. The difference is not talent. It's how they respond. They treat failure as feedback, not defeat. Even small failures matter. If you mispronounce a word in English, it is not the end. It is a chance to improve your pronunciation. If you forget something at work, it is not a reason to quit. It is a signal to prepare better next time. Every small failure teaches something. Every lesson brings you closer to success. It is also important to separate failure from your self-worth. Failing at a task does not mean you are a failure. It means you are learning. Your value is not measured by one mistake or one loss. Winners understand this clearly. They fail many times, but they never fail in spirit. Let's remember the story of the student who failed the English exam. Each mistake they made became a stepping stone. Each error guided their next study session. Slowly, they built skill, confidence, and success. This is how failure becomes powerful. It transforms from a negative experience into a positive teacher. So, the next time you fail, pause and reflect. Don't let fear control you. Don't see the end where there is only a lesson. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to grow? Write it down. Learn it. Adjust. Then take the next step with courage. Winners know the secret. Failure is not their enemy. It is their guide. Each failure contains the seeds of improvement, and those who pay attention will grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the challenges ahead. In the next section, we will explore the importance of small daily actions, how building tiny habits every day can lead to unstoppable success. Because learning from failure is powerful, but consistent action turns those lessons into real results. Turning effort into results. Smart strategy for real change. All the lessons we have learned so far, awareness, mindset, discipline, focus, and patience, are powerful on their own. But the real magic happens when you connect them. Hard work alone is not enough. Smart work, guided by clear strategy, is what turns effort into real results. Winners don't just work hard, they work smart. They plan, act, and review. That is how they transform their dreams into reality. Let's start with awareness. Before you can achieve anything, you need to see clearly where you are and where you want to go. If you don't know your starting point or your goal, even the hardest effort may lead nowhere. Imagine trying to learn English without knowing your weak areas, grammar, vocabulary, or speaking. You might spend hours studying things you already know, while your real gaps remain. Awareness is the first step. Know yourself, know your current situation, and know what you want to improve. Next comes focus. Once you are aware, you need to choose one main goal and stick with it. Many people try to improve everything at once, speaking, listening, writing, reading, and grammar, all at the same time. This spreads energy thin and slows progress. Instead, pick one area to concentrate on first. For example, if your goal is to speak English confidently, focus your energy on practicing conversations. Listen, repeat, and speak every day. This focus creates power, like a laser cutting through obstacles, while scattered energy leads to burnout. Discipline is the engine that keeps you moving. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is consistent. Even when you feel tired or bored, discipline makes you show up. Set a daily routine and stick to it. Maybe 20 minutes of English practice in the morning or a short workout every evening. Small, consistent actions every day add up to huge results over time. Winners don't wait to feel motivated. They act no matter what. Patience is the secret ingredient. Change doesn't happen overnight. When results are slow, it's easy to feel discouraged and give up. But winners know that slow progress is still progress. Think of a farmer planting seeds. You water them daily, even though nothing appears for weeks. Then one day, small green leaves break through the soil. That is your reward. Your efforts were not wasted. They were growing quietly, below the surface, until the right moment. Now let's connect all these principles into a simple, practical strategy that you can use every day. Start with clear goals. Write down exactly what you want to achieve. Be specific. Instead of "I want to learn English," write, "I want to hold a 5-minute conversation in English without fear." Clear goals give your efforts direction. Next, break your goal into small, actionable steps. If your goal is speaking English, your steps could be: learn 5 new words every day, repeat 1 short conversation, record yourself speaking, or join an online language group. Small steps may seem simple, but they build momentum. Each completed step is a victory and strengthens your confidence. Then, review your progress weekly. Take a few minutes each week to reflect. What worked? What didn't? What can you improve next week? This review allows you to adjust your plan. Maybe you notice that listening practice helps you speak better, or that practicing in the morning is easier than in the evening. Reflection turns effort into smart action. Let's use a real-life example. Imagine someone wants to save money. First, they look at their current situation. Income, expenses, debts, that is awareness. Then, they set a focused goal. Save $100 each month. Discipline comes in as they follow a strict weekly plan. No unnecessary spending. Track daily expenses, and save before spending. Patience is required because the savings grow slowly. Finally, they review their progress every week and adjust their plan. Maybe cut extra costs or find small ways to earn more. After several months, they see real results. Awareness, focus, discipline, and patience turned small, consistent actions into real financial growth. The same strategy works for health, learning, or personal growth. Awareness shows you where to start. Focus guides your energy. Discipline keeps you moving. Patience allows growth to happen naturally. Small daily actions, done with strategy, compound into big achievements. Remember, effort without direction is like running in circles. You may feel busy and tired, but you won't reach your goals. Smart effort, guided by awareness, focus, discipline, and patience, is like running on a straight path. Every step takes you closer to your dream. To make this practical, start today. Write your goal, break it into small steps, create a daily routine, and reflect weekly. Take 1 small action now, no matter how tiny. Each step is a victory. Each victory builds confidence, skill, and momentum. Over time, your consistent efforts create real, lasting change. Once you understand this strategy, everything becomes easier. Your hard work stops being random. It becomes meaningful. You stop feeling stuck. You start seeing progress. And that is the moment when effort turns into real success. In the next section, we will bring all these lessons together and show how to create a life of consistent wins, happiness, and growth. Because understanding strategy is important, but applying it every day is what truly changes your life. From trying to winning, your new beginning. Welcome to the final step of this journey. You have learned so much, and now it's time to see how it all comes together. Many people try very hard in life but never feel successful. They work long hours, study tirelessly, or chase goals without a clear plan. They try again and again, yet they feel stuck, frustrated, or even defeated. But today, you have discovered the difference between merely trying and truly winning. Trying without direction is like running in a circle. You may feel busy, tired, and anxious, but you are not moving forward. You may work hard, but see little change. That is where most people fail. They have energy and effort, but they lack awareness, focus, and strategy. They compare themselves to others and give up too soon. They forget that success is a journey, not a sudden event. Now, imagine trying with awareness. You know where you are and where you want to go. You notice your strengths and weaknesses. You understand which areas need attention. This awareness gives your effort direction. It is the first step from chaos to clarity. Suddenly, your energy is not wasted. Every action has a purpose, and every step matters. Next comes focus. You have learned how powerful it is to choose one goal and give it your full attention. Instead of spreading yourself too thin, you concentrate your energy like a laser. Focus allows you to dig deeper, grow faster, and build real skill. People who scatter their energy may feel busy, but those who focus steadily become strong, confident, and capable. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation fades. Motivation is exciting at first, but it disappears quickly. Discipline is the engine that drives consistent action. Even when you are tired, discouraged, or unsure, discipline makes you show up and do the work. It is the quiet power that turns small daily actions into meaningful results. Patience is the secret companion of all winners. Success rarely comes overnight. It grows slowly, like a tree from a small seed. The farmer waters the soil every day, trusting that one day green leaves will appear. Similarly, your consistent effort may feel invisible now, but it is building strength beneath the surface. Slow progress is still progress, and every small action brings you closer to your goal. You have also learned to see failure differently. Failure is not a wall that stops you. It is a teacher, a guide, and feedback that shows you where to improve. Every mistake contains a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity. Winners don't quit because they fail. They learn and adjust. They turn each loss into wisdom and use it to move forward stronger than before. When you combine all these lessons, awareness, focus, discipline, patience, and learning from failure, you can turn effort into real results. Smart effort beats busy effort every time. Planning small steps, taking daily actions, and reviewing progress weekly creates a path to success. Learning English, improving your health, saving money, or achieving any dream becomes possible when you follow this strategy. The most important part of all this is action. You cannot wait for tomorrow. You cannot hope for the perfect moment. Today is the day to start. One small step now is better than 10 big plans postponed. Write down your goal, pick your first small action, and do it. Speak one English sentence, read one page, or plan one small habit. That single action begins a chain that leads to growth, confidence, and success. Remember, you are not defined by past failures. You are not a loser. You are not someone who tried and failed forever. You are a learner. You are a person taking the journey toward winning. Each lesson you apply, each step you take, brings you closer to the life you want. You are capable of change. You are capable of growth. You are capable of winning. Life is not about instant results. It is about consistent action, wise choices, and the courage to keep moving forward. You now have the tools to transform your effort into success. You have the mindset, the focus, and the strategy to create meaningful progress. Every small victory builds confidence. Every failure teaches a lesson. Every day you act brings you closer to winning. So take that first step today. Do one small thing that moves you toward your goal. Practice one sentence in English, complete one task, or set one plan for the week. Feel the power of taking action. Feel the hope that grows with each small step. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust that your effort will produce results. Always remember this. You are not a failure. You are a learner on the road to winning. Your journey is unique, and your growth is real. Keep showing up, keep learning, and keep believing in yourself. The world is full of possibilities, and now you are ready to take them. If this video has inspired you, I invite you to subscribe to Read and Learn English. Here, you will find more motivational stories, lessons, and practical tips to grow your English skills and your life. Start today and step into your new beginning. Because every journey toward winning begins with one action, one choice, and one moment of courage.